Last year, we saw Soluna AVAX, Solana Luna AVAX as one of the most exciting narratives for all of crypto that dominated DeFi with flourishing ecosystems across all these layer ones, and I think the next thing could be Near. I'm talking about Near Protocol, which is everything that Ethereum 2.0 should have been, and with an 800 million global ecosystem fund, they have a lot of catalysts coming up that I think are really exciting. I want to share with you all a few catalysts that I think could send Near to new all-time highs, give an overview of the ecosystem as a whole, and share some DeFi strategies that I'm using personally today. What's up YouTube? Welcome back to my channel. I'm Crypto with Nick. I'm a crypto enthusiast and DeFi investor, and I think Near is one of the most exciting ecosystems right now. It has a ton of catalysts coming up for it, and I think there's a lot of opportunities. So let's dive into this. Quick introduction to the team. We have Alexander here and Ilya coming from companies like Microsoft and Google, and surprisingly are both either winners or finalists in the ICPC competition, which is the International Collegiate Programming Contest. And these two gigabrains definitely have solved a lot of Ethereum problems that we see today, especially when it comes to scalability. And back in May of 2020, they were able to raise almost $22 million from Andreessen Horowitz, one of the most reputable VC funds in the world. And again, earlier this year, back in January, we have another $150 million raised by Andreessen Horowitz, and this time including Three Arrows Capital. In my opinion, these two forces coming together means that they see something special in Near. And if you thought it ended there, you were wrong, because just in April of this month of 2022, they were able to raise another $350 million by Tiger Global. We are seeing some of the world's best VCs coming together to support the Near protocol. So what do all these VCs see in Near? So Near is a decentralized layer 1 blockchain, much of that of Avalanche or Phantom or Luna, right? These are all different layer 1 blockchains. And it uses a proof of stake mechanism. This is what Ethereum hopes to accomplish later this year during the merge of its roadmap. It uses a block generation scheme called Doomslug, and it uses a sharding mechanism known as Nightshade. Again, these are things that Ethereum is hoping to achieve later on its roadmap. Alright, now we have to introduce Aurora. I promise we're getting to the fun stuff soon, but you have to understand what Aurora is, because it's a layer 2 scaling solution built on top of Near, and it's what all the DeFi applications are being built on that we're going to talk about today. And I know what you're talking about, you're like, Nick, you just said Near solved the scalability problem. You talked about slugs, you talked about this thing called Nightshade. Why do we need Aurora? Aurora is EVM compatible, meaning that developers can take all their favorite applications that they built on Ethereum and easily port them over and migrate them to the Near ecosystem. And Aurora is really unique because something like Matic, which is a layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, a whole separate blockchain, it's called a sidechain. Aurora is actually just a smart contract built on top of Near, which means it's able to inherit all of its security and scaling mechanisms. And the Aurora team was able to successfully raise $12 million, again from notable VC investors. We have people down here like Pantera and Dragonfly Capital. And here we need to talk about one of the most bullish catalysts that could be coming for Near and Aurora, and that is the launch of USN, a decentralized stablecoin very similar to what we all know and love, UST. Here we have a blog post from Captain Cole, a very well-respected member in the crypto community. Here we can say that the USN partnership with other well-capitalized stablecoins, and that their goal is to offer 20% APR. So in my opinion, this is a direct vampire attack on the Luna ecosystem. If you didn't know recently, the Anchor protocol actually introduced dynamic rates, and we can expect that 19.5% that it's been offering for so long to actually decrease at the end of this month. And with those rates decreasing, people might be looking for new opportunities for something new and exciting, and the USN stablecoin could bring a lot of new liquidities and eyes on the Near's ecosystem. Now, there is no confirmed date, but given that we have something here, April 2X, right? I think you can expect it between now and the next week. Definitely keep eyes out for this. All right, now let's start going over the Aurora ecosystem and start to introduce you to some of the applications and teams that are building on top of Aurora. We're over here on DeFi Llama, and we can see that money is just flooding into the Aurora ecosystem. We can see here Aurora at number 17, up 96% in the last month alone. It's about to topple that $1 billion mark. And this is all while popular ecosystems like Osmosis are seeing a negative 22%. Even Arbitrum, which is a very promising layer 2 scaling solution for Ethereum, is also seeing outflows. So if we check out the applications being built on Aurora, I'm going to pick out some of my few. We're not going to cover all these in this video, but some of my favorites are going to be the Bastion protocol. This is a money market. Solaris, which is going to be a decentralized exchange. Aurigami, this is another money market. Rose, which helps between stable swaps. And NearPad's pretty interesting. It is a launchpad for Aurora. And if you're enjoying this video so far, hit that like button and consider subscribing. My channel is still very small. It would truly mean the world to me. My goal is to always bring the best DeFi strategies across all ecosystem while making it simple that anyone can get involved and get started. And with all of that fundraising, the Near team has put together an $800 million global ecosystem funding. And a lot of this is dedicated to DeFi and is going towards those DeFi projects to have incentives to draw users. And this is where we're going to take advantage and start yield farming. First, we can cover Aurigami, really interesting project that allows you to borrow and lend different assets. And these APYs are wild. Look at these APYs. They are positive, meaning they are incentivizing users to borrow and lend. You're getting paid to borrow money from the Aurigami protocol. And they support a lot of different assets. USDC here, you could actually loop USDC to go ahead and just farm these rewards. You're also going to get some of the native token, which is pretty cool. They support Bitcoin, stake Near, Solaris, right? Lots of options here. But something really exciting you notice right here, $2.5 million in Near rewards super boost. Let's go over that. So here we got the alpha from the official Twitter of the Aurigami. We can see here that $2.5 million worth of Near rewards is going to be enabled for USDC, some other stablecoins, ETH, Bitcoin, Near from April 22nd to May 6th. And this means all of these pools you just saw are going to get boosted even more with rewards. What I'd recommend here, deposit whatever asset you want, and then you can do single side looping to lever up your position and just go ahead and farm all those rewards. Next, I want to introduce you to the Bastion protocol. This has honestly been one of the strongest teams I think I've seen in all of the Aurora ecosystem. They ship so fast. I'm really amazed by what they've been able to accomplish, and they've been able to lock up $600 million in TVL. This is the #1 app right now on Aurora. And the reason they're able to keep all this liquidity sticky is that they went ahead and did this Bastion lock drop. They just announced the token, details on that very shortly, and they were able to encourage people to lock up tokens in return for the Bastion token. So this liquidity is sticky. It's not going anywhere right now. So they've actually divided their borrowing and lending of different assets into these kind of realms. So here you have the stake Near if you want to borrow and lend Near or stake Near. Here has the Aurora ecosystem. This is things like the Aurora token itself, USDC and Tri, and then they have multi-chain. This is things like USDC and as well as some more Near token options. So you have a couple of different options here. The rates aren't as good. I think that's because they're allocating most of the rewards to the lock drop, but still a great protocol to go ahead and lend and borrow. A couple exciting things coming to the Bastion protocol. They're introducing a low slippage AMM for stablecoins. You could think of this like Curve Finance. And they finally announced that their token is finally here. A lot of people are going to get allocations from the lock drop though. So if you were locking up your tokens, you'll probably get a nice airdrop here. I'm not really sure I would market buy this, but you might be able to swing trade it. So it could be interesting. Alright, so now we are looking at Solaris, which is the #1 DEX on Aurora at this time, and we have a ton of different options here for yield farming. You can see here at the top, we have this thing called the dual reward pools. This means if you stake something like Tri in Aurora, you're going to get 99% in Tri and also 9% in Aurora. And I like some of these pools a lot. This one particularly, the stake Near and X Tri. These are assets that appreciate in value from fees and generation like that. And then you can double dip as well and earn more rewards on top of them. I'm personally in this pool right now, stake Near and wrap Near, and that's because I really don't want to deal with any kind of impermanent loss. I really just want to farm more Near, so I'll be taking my Tri tokens, compounding them into more Near. And if you're looking for a bit of a safer play, something like USDC and Near 42% APR, this is going to help mute some volatility, allow you to accumulate some Tri tokens, or you can even just go all in on stablecoins, something like USDC and USDT for 11% APR. And when you farm your Tri tokens, obviously you can just sell them and compound your position. But if you are interested, you can come over here and stake them. You'll get 25% APR. And when you stake them, you get X Tri in return. Remember, if we come back over here to the farm section, we can actually use X Tri to then double dip, right? So we can buy Tri, stake it for 25%, come over here, pair it up with Near and earn more. And you can see here we have this other option, get staked Near, that we can pair it up with. So you can buy Near and stake it for 10.6% APY. And this is great. That means you're going to stake Near, earn that 10% APY. It's going to give you ST Near. You can come over here and then farm with that to earn more rewards on top of that. Ooh, I feel like that was a lot, honestly. So let's go through it one more time. Basically, we can take try, stake it, we'll have X try. We can take Near, stake it, we'll have stake Near. Both of those are going to earn rewards. Then what we can do is take those tokens, put them together, and earn even more rewards, right? So that is the power of DeFi. Those are our Legos building on top of each other. All right, let's introduce Rose. Rose is a stable swap protocol. It also has its own stablecoin known as RUSD. Let's launch it. So when you launch Rose, right, very similar to what you've ever seen, right, you'll be able to swap tokens, but you'll notice that a lot of the tokens are basically stable coins. Remember, this is not a full DEX. This is to help with incredibly low slippage. Think of something like Curve. But if you come over here to their farming APRs, they're actually really good. If you use their RUSD stablecoin, 53% on that. Or if you just want to use something like UST, 35%, or something like Frax, 40%, right? These are very good stablecoin yields. They've been like this for a few weeks. I'm honestly surprised they're still holding up, but definitely some opportunity here. You can also accumulate the Rose token and stake it. This is only 0.9% APR. Honestly, not too bullish the Rose token. You have people like Solaris that are launching a stable swap. You have the Bastion protocol that's launching a stable swap. So I'm not really sure if Rose is going to have a future ahead of itself. The team's been a little bit slow to ship, but the market cap of this coin is so tiny that there could be some opportunity here. I wrote this tweet a few days ago. This is why you should be following me on Twitter, because I post most of my alpha here first, right? Very difficult to record YouTube videos sometimes. But here I have a comment where we saw a 77% spike in Rose the other day and that the market cap is just 4.6 million, right? Super tiny. Here I have a message. They're saying that there's 36 million tokens in circulation, right? When we times it by the current price, we get about a 4 to 5 million market cap. So we saw this massive spike up, right? Things are looking pretty bullish. It doesn't take a lot of buys to move this, but no, this is actually a pretty illiquid asset. So if you plan on doing large buys or sells, you're going to see some price impact. You're going to see this move pretty easily. So definitely be careful. Do your own research with this one. And the last project we're going to briefly talk about today is NearPad. This is actually a launchpad and a DEX on Aurora, right? If we come over here and scroll down just a bit, we can see that Rose took advantage of it. This is actually where you have to buy and sell Rose through the NearPad decentralized exchange. I'm usually not too bullish on these tokens for launchpads, but again, super small market cap. Could easily send if we get a lot of new flows that come into the Aurora ecosystem. People usually just look for things that haven't pumped yet and buy them up, so could be some opportunity here. And so going back and revisiting Rose and NearPad, this is exactly what happened. Here we have Pentosi, a very large Twitter following. He talked about his interest in the Near and Aurora ecosystem, specifically called out Rose and NearPad. And look at these charts, what happened after he tweeted, right? We got a massive gigasend. This is about 100% gain. This is on the NearPad token. And again, we see the same thing with Rose. Again, very small market caps, not very liquid, right? Be careful. Pay attention. If you sell or buy, you're going to see some slippage there. Now that we've covered all the apps in the ecosystem, I really just want to spend a second and talk about the Rainbow Bridge, because the Rainbow Bridge is one of the best bridging experiences I've ever honestly used in DeFi. And I can tell that the Near team has spent a lot of time making sure that this has just been a really great experience for everyone. And what's really cool here is that we can see that the Rainbow Bridge is a trustless and permissionless protocol for connecting blockchains. And this means that it removes the need to trust anyone except the security of the connected chains, right? This is really important when it comes to protecting against different hacks. We can see here that anyone can deploy a new bridge, use an existing bridge, or join the maintenance of a bridge without getting approval. And if you come over here to the rainbowbridge.app site, you can see here you can bridge from Ethereum to Aurora. If you go ahead and connect your wallet, let me just do this really quick. Let's do that. Switch network. And then what we can see here when we click continue, we have a ton of different tokens that we can choose from. Of course, we can choose from Ethereum. We can also choose from Aave, Cream, Frax, right? We have different things like Compound, Uni. You get the point here. Lots of options to choose from when bridging from the ETH mainnet. And if you're not bridging from the ETH mainnet, one of my favorite bridges is the Synapse protocol. It also supports the Aurora ecosystem. You can bridge from places like Avalanche. I'm pretty sure even things like Phantom are supported to the Aurora ecosystem, right? Tons of different options here. So now let's talk about one of the largest headwinds right now that's kind of surrounding the Near ecosystem. And people have been discussing it a lot on crypto Twitter, but a lot of people have actually got it wrong. And that a lot of people think that the Near protocol token unlocks are happening April 22nd, and we're going to see this massive increase, but that's not necessarily the whole truth. So here we have some info from Masari, a very reputable partner and coming to crypto due diligence and research. And here we have the liquid supply core for Near protocol. And we can see here, there's no giant cliff. Of course, we see a nice linear unlock, right? So definitely VCs are in profit. You could always expect them to dump their tokens, but there's no giant cliff or massive flood of supply coming, right? It's a nice gradual unlock that we've always seen. So I think we can expect the same behavior in the past to kind of just push ahead forward as we progress. This is probably one of the most exciting videos I've made in a while. We've talked so much. We talked about what makes Near so special, covered the ecosystem of different DeFi strategy. We squashed the FUD, right? I hope you're as excited as Near as I am. But if you ever have any questions, go ahead, shoot me a follow on Twitter, send me a message, join my Discord. It's free. We would love to have you. Anyways, cheers, happy farming. See you in the next one.